What's going on, everyone? Jason Pacheco here with Matt Reddy, Millennial Real Talk Podcast, episode 17.
Best podcast in the world.
Best podcast in the world.
Obviously.
Keeping it mostly real estate related, but it is the holiday week. Christmas is Saturday. Matt, what's up? You gonna skip any gym days?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, so Christmas Eve, probably get out of work early. Definitely gonna go to the gym. Got to squeak it in. The festivities really don't start till like 5. You get out at 2.
Your gym's open on Christmas Day?
Christmas Day, yep. Fitness Rising. Shout out to Fitness Rising. Open 5 a.m. to midnight, so I'll be going there.
In the morning?
Yeah, probably in the mid-morning.
Wow.
Dinner doesn't start till what?
Depends on the household, right?
Yeah, it depends on where you are, but yeah, I'll be working out.
Good for you.
Gotta get it in.
Yeah, I'll get some push-ups in at home.
Yeah, push-up. Hey, it's better than nothing. Like, some people don't do anything, so I think it's important. Health is wealth, so.
Network is your network.
That quote is actually from Jay. Health is wealth. So.
How are you gonna did you buy the girlfriend some gifts or anything, or?
Yeah, I got her a few gifts.
Balled out on her?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. I'm just so everyone knows, I'm a little more conservative, by nature. So, but I don't want to say I cheaped out. I'm not gonna out myself there.
Are you a last minute shopper?
I finished a couple of days ago. I did stuff, so not last minute. But how about you?
Yeah, so
don't say what you bought.
Yeah, so we're getting that multifamily, so that's a hefty down payment. So we just did stocking stuffers this year.
Stocking stuff. Okay,
Couple
yeah.
Things in the stocking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We spent money on our daughters, of course, even though they don't know what Christmas is yet. But the wife wants to make sure, which gifts are from Santa, Jay. Whatever you want.
Give her a break. It's fun. The outfits. Let her do her thing.
But yeah, so we kind of just said, let's keep it under $100, do some stocking stuffers, and we'll worry about spend money on the girls.
Yeah, how's that still on track to close?
Still on track to close.
Jason buying his first investment property here.
Buying a multifamily in Warwick. It's a 2-family. Got it under $300,000.
Which is huge. I mean, both 3 bedrooms, right?
Actually, the home, now he's looking at some multis, and your multi you're looking at right now, is about 2 miles from yours.
Yeah, mine.
And I was doing some comps, and I think I got a better deal.
I think you did. So my offer didn't get accepted yet, but I did some comps. Yeah, I'll say you definitely got a better deal. So I'm going to be moving out of my multifamily. Let that rent that out, profit, move to this one if we get it. Hasn't gotten accepted yet, but so I'll be living in it, so it's a little different, but yeah, I mean, I would say your buy is definitely better.
I'm not even trying to toot the horn. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Really, it's a lot better. You gotta wait.
But I got a 2-family side by side is desirable. Is yours side by side?
Yeah, it's a 1-level side by. Yeah, same thing.
Now 3 beds, 1 bath. Is yours a 3-bed?
Mine is not a 3-bed, 1 bath. No.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure it out.
No, yeah.
And you're $100,000 more than mine?
Yeah, 100, because you were 275, 285. Yeah, actually, more than 100 actually.
So why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think the area is much. And I'm not even trying to bust your.
I actually think your area might actually be even a little better. I was looking at some of the rents; they're actually a little higher over there. So, yeah. I mean, I think maybe just because I was looking at the house. If you look at the outside, I think we might have just, be paying a little curb appeal.
Yeah.
Little curb appeal fee.
The outside nice.
Yeah, it's just, it looks like, they did up the lawn, and I mean, who knows? But I mean, I think it's still a good buy. We're going to live in it. The other side's going to pay a good chunk of the mortgage anyway, and refinance down the line. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he did. I'm not gonna sit here and argue. His buy is definitely better. Mine didn't even get accepted yet, so we'll see.
May the best man win.
I know. Yeah, I would have went in on yours, and I probably would have. Honestly, to get a multifamily period right now is unreal, and then to get it, I think you were a little under asking, right? Yeah, under list, yeah, and to get something that's not like a complete rehab for under $300,000 is, it's I don't know how you did it, honestly. So
Well, we'll talk about rehabs, investments, and multifamilies. Guy knows probably a little bit more about us. I'd like to introduce this gentleman who started from the bottom as a high school dropout, homeless kid in Providence.
it's crazy.
Now one of the most successful millennials in Rhode Island in the real estate community. He's a content creator, real estate investor, wholesaler, flips homes, builds new construction. Christian Vargas, also known as Method Invest on Instagram. Come on here, Christian. What's going on?
Hey, what's going
on, Christian?
How are you?
So,
All right.
yeah, get comfortable.
Put these on?
Yeah, get comfortable.
All right.
Do you like those? You don't have to use the headphones.
Yeah, it looks good. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right.
How was your day? Busy?
Yeah, it was busy today. Just
you
a lot of running around, getting the crews going, and some more planning. A lot of planning
for
nowadays.
next year?
For next year, but also with the current projects that we have going on.
Where'd you start? You're mostly in Providence, right?
Yeah,
Right now?
pretty much we're
Yeah.
all in Providence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically developed like a whole block, 4 houses, and so we're on our last one to be sold, and we just need the CO on that one, but we're gonna hold off until January 1st. So
The
For
holidays.
tax purposes? Or?
yeah, tax purposes,
Yeah,
so we don't have to pay taxes
Yeah.
until 2024. You know, so that's
Yeah.
kind of
The all new construction.
yeah. So it was 2 renovations and then 2 new constructions.
Oh, okay. So 2 of them are remodels. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
2
No,
of them were
I-
remodels.
What do you mind sharing the addresses? Because you
don't have
I was
to,
showing
but-
him, and one looks familiar. I don't know if you had the buyer for one.
Oh yeah, was it off of Charles Street?
What's
It
the
might have
you
been.
say the addresses?
Yeah. What? Oh God, I can't even.
Stonewall.
Oh,
Stone.
no, that's
Oh,
not.
no.
No.
Oh, okay.
But they pretty much all look the same. If you look at all the new constructions, they're basically all
Yeah, they look.
replicas.
Are you
yeah.
doing single families?
Um,
Right now.
No, multis.
Multis?
Yeah,
2
multis.
families?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's just the way to go.
Yeah. Cost
Yeah.
efficient. Or?
You just get more money for them.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people get approved for a lot more for a 2 family,
Right.
and I mean, they're going for like at one point they were going for 550, but then now they're around 525 with the interest rates.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's true. I mean, even when I bought my first house, like live in one, rent out the other. It's yeah, I got approved. I don't even know if I would have got approved at the time for anything. So, yeah, that makes sense.
But
Yeah.
just to jump in a little bit, I know we met once off camera. You told me a little of your story, but where you from? I know Providence, but what high school did you play sports? What were you up to 10 years ago?
And were you any good at the sports if you played? I always ask. Go ahead.
Cool. Yeah. So basically, I always played baseball.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pitcher?
No, I played third base and like left field. Yeah,
Okay.
I was actually pretty good too.
You were good?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually pretty good. My father and I used to play with my brother and my sister as well. Play every single day outside, and we just then going to practice, walking there from across the city to get to practice with my brother, my sister,
Yeah.
and at the time my stepmom. Yeah, so we used to walk there like I don't even know how many blocks that was. Like it's across town, basically from Chalkstone all the way to Silver Lake.
Yeah. Snow or rain?
So yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, they would cancel if it rained and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But yeah, man, I played baseball, very competitive. I had very good coaches, and I've always kind of been like that, like just driven to like become better. I think it came from a young age, just my dad helping me out, practicing with me and stuff like that, and just there was this one defining moment though. The first year I ever signed up for baseball. Well, the way I signed, my father signed me up. I've always wanted to play soccer. I was always playing soccer, but then one day my dad came home. He said, "I signed you up for baseball." I'm like, "Why?" I'm like,
Yeah.
That's because they know, they probably know something at the time. You don't.
They get,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to say they get paid more, but I know like Messi and Ronaldo are making tons, but you have to be the top there.
yeah, you got to be like a
Yeah,
top
yeah.
player. Yeah, Messi. Shout out to Messi, huh?
Do you think you were just?
Ronaldo, come on. You're a Messi fan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a fan of greatness.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
People that are
That are just like top level.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I like Ronaldo too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you follow the World Cup a little? Or?
Honestly, I
You
didn't.
were busy. Right?
Yeah, like I barely watch TV. I try to force myself to watch some things now, just to like wind down. But
Yeah.
honestly, my brain is always just going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy for me to actually relax. I have to go on vacation.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
piggyback off that a little, we were talking about it a few podcasts ago. Real estate, like being a real estate agent, there's no hour. So if it's 9 p.m., my mind can think about leads. How am I going to get leads? My family's all laughing in front of me. I'm there, but my mind's thinking elsewhere.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
watch Netflix, not because I don't have time for it. Just I don't enjoy I just can't get into a show. 5 minutes, boom, on to the next. It's probably the TikTok in me, just scrolling.
Yeah.
I needed to find something where I can relax and enjoy myself and put things away. So I got myself into playing like FIFA. And that's why I can really, if I'm playing a game of FIFA, I'm not thinking about real estate. And that's like, instead of going on vacation, that's where I can find a little peace and quiet.
That's awesome.
But,
Yeah, I feel like, just to touch on that too, I feel like, it's tough to not be like, I feel like everything's all done. I went to the gym, did this, did that, worked, whatever. And then I go to sit down and I'm like, well, this is a waste of time. And I'm like, but I did everything. I'm like, I just can't sit here and I feel like I'm wasting time. Like, I don't know. So I kind of get what you're saying. It's just like, feels like I was just a waste of time. But, I feel like unplugging sometimes is probably not a bad idea. But
hopping back into the baseball scene. So you're in middle school here?
No, so I was 7 years old at the time, so
Yeah.
Mighty Mites,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And but that defining moment that changed everything was I think the first year, like Little League, I remember the team was down and I was up to bat. And I just remember one of the parents saying like, "Oh, it's over," because I was going up to bat. You know what I mean? So it's like,
'Cause you stink?
yeah, exactly,
Jerk.
because I sucked. So I just basically from that moment though, I did strike out, and then I just something fueled me, and I played every single day, and I signed up for whatever I could. I asked my dad and stuff like that, and I just started getting better and better and better, and just put in hours. So that's kind of where like that work ethic came from.
that
Just
strikeout was probably good, honestly.
Yeah.
For you, just, in general. I think it's important that people fail, honestly.
Now, did
'cause
you
that
play
way-
high school? Didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, yeah, no, God.
no, so I didn't play high school because that's where things got rocky in my life. I ended up just dropping out of high school. My grades weren't good enough, but the coach, he wanted me to play for him because he saw me playing at the Babe Ruth League.
Yeah.
In front of Nathaniel Green, and he saw me make this incredible play out in the outfield where I dove for the ball. I was diving for balls,
Yeah.
mid-air catching these things. And I remember him coming up to me after the game, just saying like, "I want you. What school do you go to?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go to Mount Pleasant." He's like, "I want you to come play for me. Like, make sure you try out."
Yeah.
And then so my grades were just never good enough to be able to, play the actual sport. So.
And not to hold any of the past friends of your bring them up, but now the saying, you are the 5 people you hang out with. So back in high school,
You've heard that, right? I
of
assume,
course.
yeah.
You're back in high school. It's just not for you. Your head's not there. Would you say it was something, a struggle you were facing, or your people you're hanging out with?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Definitely a little bit of both. I was just at the time, like in high school, I had just gotten out of a group home, and basically I was kind of living on my own, and I just basically ended up homeless, like couch surfing for a little bit, and then I ended up, I always worked though, so I always worked. I started working in middle school, so I was
Damn, that's early.
yeah, I was working at like I don't know, 7th grade. So I would leave Nathaniel Green High School, take the bus all the way to Johnston to Route 44, Smith, go all the way up Smith, and then walk like 6 blocks, and then I would wash dishes on Fridays, Saturdays, and then I became a busboy after that, like after like a year. And becoming a busboy was probably one of the most crucial moments in my life, I feel, because I was able to, you know how most busboys nowadays, like they just don't interact with nobody, they just do what they got to do.
Right.
For me, I made friends with everybody.
Yeah.
So like,
As in your work coworkers or clients.
People there, too.
people
I
there
imagine.
too. Yeah. So I would, and then they knew me. They saw me hustling. I always worked hard, changed the tables fast, did what I had to do. But just networking, I guess I got used to talking to people, the customers, and they would always just tip me on the side, anyways. They got so it was nice. So basically, I got to meet doctors. I was working. It was called the Little Inn in Johnston. The little.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's
I grew up
close.
in Smithfield, so I'm relatively familiar with Johnson, but it sounds familiar. But
Yeah, it was right on Route 44. Route 44, right next to a fire station.
oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Right there. Yep.
That little, it was like a little place, like kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, not like it wasn't like giant or anything.
Yeah, the little place was like more on the right side. This
Oh,
one
okay.
was on the left side, like that. It was like a
Oh, I'm thinking of the yeah, okay,
yeah, ricotta's or something. I don't know.
yeah,
Either way, though, the whole busboy experience, I gotta say, like, if any young person out there, 15 years old, you want to develop a work ethic and learn how to speak to people and take the opportunity to speak to people, I'd say the restaurant business is a great way to start because you can just meet anybody. I was meeting doctors, lawyers, all these type of people, and you just learn to communicate with them. So,
and it's hard work too. I mean, it's not like, I'm sure it wasn't easy running around.
yeah, no, it wasn't. So it was good though. A good days of work, get it done, get some nice tips. At the time, I was young, so I mean, making $150 a night was nice.
Right. Yeah.
That's good.
So you're out of high school now, and today you're in real estate. So how did you get to that point?
So basically, when I dropped out of high school, I ended up just doing little odd end jobs. I ended up getting arrested for weed. I had some weed on me, and I think that was a defining moment in my life too because nobody was there for me besides my father. My father got called. Even the detective
Were you
said,
cruising around? Or?
"Yeah, I was just driving around in
Yeah.
Providence, and I had weed on me, and then I mean, we've all kind of just But either way, I got arrested, and I'm friends with the guy who arrested me, the cop.
Yeah.
I'm friends with him now. It's crazy. Yeah, we talk all the time, and he's looking to invest into real estate too. But that's how crazy the world works,
Right.
So, yeah, it was just So what happened? Okay, so that defining moment, my father came to pick me up at the Providence police station. And even the detective, he talked to me. I always had respect and morals. I grew up in church. So, I was, hey, I understand. I have to own up to what I have to do. Like I did it. I had weed on me. I'll pay the consequences. But nobody else came for me besides my father. And I just remember that car ride home, just asking me, like, why? Why are you just, I was like, hey, I mean, I'm just out here. But,
Yeah, people
and I
make
had
mistakes. Like,
yeah, and I hadn't seen my father in I'm only 16 at the time, but I hadn't seen my father probably in 6 months.
yeah, oh, okay.
So it's like, it's just I'm on my own. So it was just crazy. I stayed over at his house for a couple of days, and then after that, I went back on my own journey. But at that point, I said I have to change my life. I need to surround myself with better people. I need to do better. Not only that, but everyone, once they found out that I got arrested and all this kind of stuff, even like the word spread back to Guatemala with all the family over there, and they were just saying that I was going to be a loser, that, that I'm not going to make it, that I'm a failure, all this kind of stuff, all the typical black sheep type of stuff.
Kind of like bring you back to the baseball day. You come up to bat, right?
Exactly.
And they're downing you there.
Exactly. So I had one of those moments again where I was like, you know what? No one's going to define my destiny besides me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people's opinion is not my reality. So I'm going to change things right now. And so I started I remember Rich Dad, Poor Dad was one of the first books that I read.
I read that too. Great book.
Yeah, great foundational book.
Everybody should read that book.
Absolutely, yeah. Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And from that point, I just decided to change, right? And basically, I met this girl at the time who later became my wife, and now she's my ex-wife now. But it was great because I was able to work towards something, and then me and her we built something. We stuck together. Her family took me in, so I was living with them, and I just got a 40-hour job working up in Mass for $9 an hour. At a warehouse. And I remember one day the manager came up to me and he said, hey, listen, you guys got to go pick up these rolls. They're 400-pound rolls of rubber. I was like there's no machines. Like we need some machines. Like this stuff is heavy.
Yeah, what the
like, he's like, nah, you and 4 guys should be able to do it. I'm like, nah, man, nah.
Yeah.
And then I refused to do it. So he basically, long story short, I got fired. Yeah, I got fired. And then I just remember him giving me the last 2 paychecks, and he was like, yeah, you know what? You're done. I was like, it kind of hit me. I was like, damn, what am I going to do now? So I went home that Friday, and, you know, I told my partner there at the time, I said, hey, you know, I got fired, and, you know, we both kind of came to the conclusion that I should go get my GED. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get it. So I went, and I went there every day. I worked hard for it, studied. I networked with everyone there, became super cool with everyone. And then that was at the Providence Place Mall downstairs. And an opportunity for an internship came up. Okay. And they were saying, hey, there's an internship at Electric Boat.
It's good company.
Yeah, good company. I didn't know anything about it.
You probably had no idea what it even was.
No idea it even existed. And it was cool because out of, you know, 122 applicants, 12 of us got selected, and I was one of the 12.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then after that was a 6-month internship, and only 11 of us got hired. Yeah. So it was pretty amazing.
And that was just with your GED, right?
Yep.
So you completed that. Yeah, it's funny because like even when I finished college, I ended up going to college. I don't want to say it was a waste of time, but it was a waste of time. But even coming out, I remember thinking like I couldn't even land an internship with Electric Boat, and meanwhile, you know, you got your GED, so you know it shows that, you know, obviously you put in work, and I mean, you know, able to get it, so that's good.
Thanks, bud. Thanks. Yeah, and so basically worked hard there for 6 months. We got hired, and I stayed there for 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Showing your age.
Yeah, right, for real. I was 19 when I got hired there, like 20. I was the youngest one there, the skinniest one too.
Yeah.
So I got stuck in all the holes. You know what I mean? Like all the awkward ass places, you know, like just it was
You stayed there 7 years though, so it must have been something good about it, you know.
Oh yeah, it was such a great job.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the first 3 years, it was a bunch of that. After that, I started moving up. I was a very hard worker. I started moving up the ranks, leading cable teams. You know, everyone was much older than me. The closest person was probably 40 years old.
40.
So,
okay,
you
so
know,
you're like really young.
Yeah, so it was a lot of adversity because here you are leading guys that are much older than you.
Yeah,
you know, running cable and all that kind of stuff. And
we talk about that all the time, like dealing with someone that's much older. They don't always reciprocate. So I understand. Like usually they talking down to you. You know how it is. So I can imagine that stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's true. And basically, at that point, I started learning about real estate. You know, YouTube, stuff like that, small stuff on YouTube. There wasn't that much content like there is today. Yeah. But I started looking up the local REI meetup, like Rhode Island Real Estate Meetup, and it was in Warwick. But at this time, it was in front of the airport. It wasn't at the Crown Plaza. Yeah. And I started going there, and I would go to meetings and stuff like that. And basically, this is where I made the jump into like real estate, dabbling into it while still working at Electric Boat. It was like my second year working at Electric Boat. I wanted to do something else, like do something more with my free time. And I called I saw a sign saying we buy houses. So I called the sign. I said, hey, I don't have a house to sell you, but, you know, I want to work for you for free if you teach me the business. And the guy was like, well, I've never had someone call me and say that, but all right, you want to meet up at the Dunkin' Donuts on Cranston Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You needed help. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, so basically went there, met up with him. His name was Ben Prum, Asian dude, super cool. And he gave me a task to do, which was a bunch of Excel stuff, putting like data entry. Like
it's incredible.
Yeah,
just call him up. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Takes guts.
I know.
Yeah. I just offered to work for free, man. And so, he gave me that data entry things, like where it was basically like all like vacant home list. Now looking back,
Yeah.
it was just a list of vacant homes. You know what I'm saying? So we were trying to contact out of state owners or whatever.
Right, absentee. Right.
Yeah. So, I did that, and then after that, we started. That's where I got into wholesaling, because I learned from him.
Yeah.
And what we would do is we would put up, every Saturday morning, put up signs saying, we buy houses, all that kind of stuff everywhere. But he started getting a little crazier. Like we was putting, he got like too crazy. Like he was grabbing a yellow, like, this 8x11 paper with the sticky side on the back of it, say, we'll buy your house for cash right now. And he was putting them on people's houses. You know what I'm
just
saying?
right. I don't even know if you could do that.
Yeah, no, you can't, bro. He told me later on. He was like, then he had to leave. Like 6 months, taught me a lot of stuff. We did a lot of wholesaling, and he had to go because he was part of the National Guard. He had to go to Florida, and so because he transferred, but that was before he met me. But it's already finalized, I guess. He had to go, and he had told me. He's like, hey, by the way, don't keep putting signs on people's houses.
Keep doing that.
He's like, I got phone calls from the police saying we got to stop doing that. Like they're gonna start investigating. So it was crazy. I was like, damn, man. But
were those signs a hit?
No, they were. I mean, some of them were, because he actually showed me some of the voice messages, and some of the people were like, yeah, I want to sell my house. So it
actually, like, yeah.
Yeah, some of them did work, and then some people called, like, it took me 30 minutes to take that sticky off of my freaking house.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So, but that's the initial. But that guy got me to buy my first house. See, this is why it's nice to just meet people and talk to people.
Yeah.
Because you never know who they're going to be. You never know what they could teach you. You never judge anybody. And this guy was like, hey, do you own a home? I was like, no. He's like, well, why don't you buy one? I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can. I'm too young. And then he's like, no. He's like, how long you been working at Electric Boat for? I said, 2 years. That's all you need. You got 2 year tax returns? Yeah. He's
Perfect.
Like, exactly. So he's like, here's 3 lenders. Go talk to them. Whoever gives you the best interest rate, go with them.
Yeah.
And he just got me on the path to home ownership, basically.
Do you stay in touch with them still?
No, not really. No, I kind of lost contact. I should definitely reach out to him. Yeah.
Send him a Christmas card.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because honestly, he's like, buy a multifamily, all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then so I got approved for the loan. And I had to come up with a down payment. So I started working.
3.5%, or
I think it was 3.5%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they told me I only had to come up with like 2,000. Then I don't know where it was like, oh, you need to come up with like $6 more grand. Plus like, inspection money and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, shoot, I don't have that.
Was this like 2007 or no?
Nah, this was like 2016.
Okay.
16?
Yeah, 2016. Right. So the market was still like good, and at that point, so what I did was I didn't have that money, so I started working. I always worked like kind of 7 days a week at Electric Boat anyways, but I started doing Uber and then moving jobs. So I was working at Electric Boat, doing Uber when I was off, and moving jobs. That's why I don't like to move. I'll pay someone to move.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think Jay probably.
Yeah, of course.
Bro, I'm scarred for moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you move people's stuff, I remember showing up to a house. It was a U-Haul truck. I don't know, the big one, like the $40 one. Let's just say like this thing was filled with totes all the way to the back. And I don't know what the hell was in the totes, but they were heavy. But it was just a tote freaking U-Haul. Yeah. And we had to move this stuff. I remember also moving some guy from Miami too. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
That guy, you could tell, like, he was like, yeah, I had a bunch of speedboats. He's like, I only moved here for my son. I was like, damn, bro. Yeah. Here I am moving his marble bar that's like freaking 500 pounds. Like, damn, what's this story? You know what I mean? Like, he was moving to Coventry. And it was just crazy. But yeah, he's like speedboats. And then just the way he was talking, I'm like, and just the stuff he had, I'm like, oh.
So at this point, it's 4 jobs you have, 3 getting paid for, and 1 you're still working for free.
Yeah, you're still.
Oh, well, I wasn't working for free at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then he ended up leaving.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I bought my house, and then I kind of just stopped actually wholesaling and all that kind of stuff. Kind of just was like, you know what? Let me just go work at Electric Boat, and I kind of settled into that
Comfort.
that comfort train. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask the wholesaling. I don't know. I feel like it's so. Maybe you only see what you see online. It seems so profitable. I'm not gonna say easy. So seeing the $20,000, $15,000, $10,000, whatever checks, that didn't motivate you, or you just kind of. Was the pricing different maybe a few years ago, or?
Yeah, at that time the pricing was different. It was weird. It was a weird time to wholesale. Like you were only making $3,000 or $5,000. You know what I mean?
Still not bad. I mean,
it's not bad. Yeah.
Not,
and you know what? I mean, he would give me some money, but it wasn't like he was giving me it.
So do you think did he hide it a little from you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We only got this. Here you go.
Exactly.
I know.
Gotcha.
So like. I guess if I would have known if we were getting $10,000, commissions or whatever like returns, I would have been a little more motivated about it. But it was good though, because it introduced me to other people in that group, and like I said, though, I got comfortable. And after that, a few years after, like my daughter ended up getting like sick. She had cancer, and so like basically that was another trialing moment.
Wow, another one.
Yeah, so it was just crazy. That will break you as a parent, as a person, so I will never wish that on anybody, but we got through it. My daughter is 6 years old now, a whole year of chemotherapy, radiation, and she's here. She's strong.
That's awesome,
yeah.
You better spoil her this holiday.
Oh yeah, bro. She definitely gets spoiled.
So she kind of was another motivator for you to get back onto the real estate game again.
Yeah, for sure. Because at the time, I was working on Electric Boat, and when you deal with something like that and you have to travel to Boston a lot, you run through money fast. So at that point, ran through savings fast, and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? All I want is my child to be good.
Right.
Yeah. So, hey, take it all away. It's all good. Right. Just make sure my child's still here. So it was just like going back and forth. And I remember like picking up Uber again, doing more odd and end jobs, painting apartments, just to keep the bills and keeping up with stuff. And I had a lot of help too from Electric Boat and fundraisers and stuff like that too.
Nice.
That helped out a lot. They were really amazing. But like I said, I was underwater bad, right. And so when my daughter finally did her final treatment and she was in remission, I was like upside down bad. Now it's like, all right, well, my daughter's good, and here I am trying to maintain my house, trying to maintain everything. I'm in so much debt with credit cards. It's just crazy. And so, balancing all of that was crazy because,
did you sleep at night?
It was tough, man. Yeah. It was tough,
That sounds more stressful than when you were homeless.
100%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%. Seeing your daughter's hair fall off, just she had such long hair, so that'll definitely break you as.
Yeah, not to get too much into that, but just to ask, is everything in the clear? Do you still do monthly or yearly checks?
Yeah, pretty much this will be like her last year. She's like in the clear, that's clear.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're happy, like she's so strong. She does karate.
Yeah.
And she's just my little warrior. Call her my little fighter jet.
Yeah.
She also a doctor's now, and she likes shots.
Don't worry.
She likes shots.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So but that basically, that changed my life at that point, because I was like, if I ever go through something like this, or if I know a family member that goes through something like this, I want to make sure that I can provide, And so that motivated me to be like, all right, I got to get serious about this real estate stuff, And I also want to create legacy wealth. I want to bring on my family. I want to be able to bring on my siblings, my father, And at that point, I started doing wholesaling again. But again, I met another mentor. This was some Jewish people out of the east side. And I started walking houses. I was envisioning myself flipping homes. I'm a big believer in envisioning and just putting things into existence, speaking into existence and believing in God. I believe in God strongly. And I started walking these homes, and I met some guy there, and I was
So
like,
you're
hey,
just walking homes to envisioning the nice homes kind of thing, or was it
like the flips?
Yeah. Okay.
Like to their a little more run down, maybe.
A little more run down. Yep.
That's
yep.
the key. Just to get, I imagine, just like, because if you just never even go visit a house, it'll never happen.
It'll
but
never
if you start going in, and now you're like, oh yeah, and then you start to like, right? I imagine that probably how it kind of took off a little bit, or
absolutely,
yeah.
That's how it took off.
You
gotta
gotta just actually go and do it.
Go and do it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, all right, so let me see.
Too many people are on the sidelines. It's
yes, exactly. So take action, right?
Yeah.
Take action. All right. So I was just things would pop up on Zillow, and I'd go look at them.
Yeah.
I'd see when the open house was, all that kind of stuff, and then I just go look at them, walk it. And then I met that guy. I was like, hey, listen, we just got cool. We just say, hey, how you doing? I'm Chris. Oh, I'm Chris too. Like, worked out perfect. You know what I mean? So I was like, nice. We're both Chris. I remember that. And then I was like, hey, listen, do you mind walking this property with me, showing me what you would look at and stuff like that? He's like, yeah, come on. We walked through it. He was pointing out a bunch of things. I was like, yeah, this guy does that. Does this a lot.
Yeah.
So
So was he a buyer there?
Yeah, he was a buyer. Yeah, he was looking to flip it. Yeah, so we ended up walking out at the end, and I was like, listen, man, I was like, I'll work for you for free if you teach me how to flip homes. And then he was like, okay, I mean, let me talk to my partner and let's see what he says. And then he's like, I was like, here, take down my number. He took down my number. I didn't get a call until like a week later. And I was hopping on the highway. I remember this moment. I was getting on the highway in Warwick and heading towards Providence. And he was like, hey, listen, man, my boss, he said, my partner wants to meet with you. He said, can you come in for an interview tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, sure. Sounds good. I was excited. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, snap. So we went. I met up with them. They had an office. It was a nice office. And I prepared. I was learning how to actually edit videos and like make videos and edit. And so I put something together to show them. Excuse me.
For the interview?
For the interview. Yeah. And so I sat down, went through the entire interview. And it was good. I feel like it was good, but they weren't going to call me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, there's no value here. What can you do for us that we don't already have handled?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they couldn't use you for some grunt work. I mean, I'm sure you could do something, right? They got to flip a house.
I know.
But maybe they may have already had people. Who knows?
They had such a system.
Yeah.
That it's just like, where do we stick you? You know what I mean? So basically, I ended up walking out, but I was like, I still had that video. I was like, nah, there's no way. I didn't show them this video. I spent all night trying to make this thing. I was like, you know what? Let me go back in there.
Yeah.
So I go back in there.
That's it takes a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure I would have done that, but
For sure, bro. It did. And then I was like, I got to show you guys something. I made this last night. I was like, maybe I can help you guys out with like social media and making videos. So I opened it up, pressed play, and they loved it.
Yeah.
They loved it. And it was like, whoa, hold on. This is what we need. He's like, what's your schedule like? Can you be here tomorrow? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it changed, So it goes back to what kind of value can you provide to people, Like, that's a big thing. Like, nowadays you can learn a lot of stuff on YouTube that you can help older people with, or even regular people, our age, closer to our age. Just develop a skill that you can learn on YouTube, especially with social media, all this technology stuff, and be able to provide that for somebody, And in return, maybe something will come.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. After that, I learned how to flip homes with them and learned about tax lien, tax sales, learned about just flipping homes and running through them.
So today, you're doing new construction, right?
Yeah.
Follow you online. How's that?
It's great.
How's that game?
It's great. And basically, I learned that game by doing the same exact thing with someone else.
Yeah.
Working for free.
doing it and just
Doing the social media.
doing the social media for them. And then I had my own connections too. So it was just crazy. It was just, I met this guy. I don't want to say his name, but I got respect for him. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of respect for him. Unfortunately, we just parted ways, you know.
not everything works out.
Not everything works out. I could never really speak negative about him because he taught me such a trade that I'll be grateful for him forever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, basically it's going well, brother. Since 3 years ago, we built about 11 houses, brand new construction.
That's awesome.
Congrats on that. So, anyone watching this that's in, young real estate investor, or they're in that point, because like it's a point that I want to talk about with you. People at the age of 17 in high school, they're kind of forced by the teachers in the system to decide what you want to do, go to college, and pay so much money to go. Like, what advice do you have out there for some young folks out there with anxiety? They don't know what they want to do. They don't know who they are yet. Do they go to college? Like, they don't really know what to do in life yet. Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, so basically, unless you're going, I mean, this is just my advice, you know. I don't know. This is kind of what I did too, based on my experiences. You know, I don't recommend it for anybody, but just in case this helps anybody, if you're gonna go to college, I would say, unless you're gonna become like a doctor, lawyer, or some specific field, engineer, go to college, do what you got to do. And if you have the opportunity to, you have good parents, you have
they're paying for it, taking out debt.
Yeah, like helping with it, then go for it. But you don't need it. You don't, nowadays you don't need it. There's so many people with degrees out there. If I had really bad anxiety, really bad. I couldn't even stand in line to pay for something. I would start sweating. That stress sweat, crazy. Like that's another thing too. Like, it's just anxiety and dealing with that. The way I overcame that was just learning more, educating more, and just doing the hard stuff and actually talking to people. You know what I mean? Being comfortable in your own skin and just loving yourself and being like, you know what? I'm me, and that's it. Like, I love myself. Like, that's it. Like, don't care about other people's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you walk into somewhere, you respect everyone, you say please and thank you, you're pretty much good.
Yeah, I always had to take, like, if I could think, I went to CCRI, and if anything, my advice would be, man, go to college, even if it's to CCRI. And yeah, you're there for the education, but I wish I could have went back and went for the network. I was head down, didn't talk to anyone, made no friends. Man, imagine if I went to CCRI or URI, joined a fraternity, made a bunch of friends. Now I'm a real estate agent, and I have like a pack of people behind me.
100.
So like, my advice to anyone watching, if you're in college and you're shy, man, just network and just make friends, because when you're older and you're meeting people want to learn how to be a real estate investor, if you guys connected back in the day and they reached out to you, I'm sure you would teach them, and they didn't even need college because you're making more than a doctor. You know what I mean? So just go out there and network and make friends at school, because that's more important than I think your education for the most part.
Absolutely, yeah. Your network is your net worth, So
yeah, I love that quote. Yeah, because there's so many. I mean, we talk about this all the time. I mean, there's so many people out there just going to school they're in their third year and they don't even know what they're going to school for. So
third year in art.
Third year in art.
But I mean, hey,
100,000 in debt.
Yeah. But you know what? Even that person that has their third year in art and they really want to be an artist. Yeah. Just do it. Go out there, put yourself out there.
Work for free for people, right?
Work for free, other artists, or I don't know how that world works, but there has to be some kind of.
It's got to be something out there.
So just whatever path you're going down, just remember, always focus on your own path and just go hard at it. You know what I mean? And just network. It all comes down to network. And just network, just make friendships. You know what I mean? Right. Like, just back to the basics and just making actual friends and just being like, hey, I can help you out with this if you ever need a hand. And, you know, and not always looking for something in return. You know, nowadays, like everyone likes to help other people out and then looking for something in return. You know, I like to do things out of just my pure heart. You know, and it's crazy because the way that the world works, the more good you put out, the more good you get, and the more bad you put out, the more bad you'll get. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big believer in that too. Like I believe in that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. People pick up on it too. I mean, you know, like if you're always looking for something back, like I think people notice that. So
yeah, true, for sure.
So how are you gonna? Last question for you: how are you gonna spend your holidays? You gonna take time off? You know, work through it. You gotta enjoy yourself, right?
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, you know, one day we'll spend it with the family. The good thing is I feel like my team is like my family, so I spend a lot of time with them, and you know, shout out to my brother and my sister, John.
Yeah, how did you meet your team? I know you had your sister helps you out. You just shout out your brother, so it sounds like he works for you. But I'm talking the guys on, you know, building. How'd you meet the carpenters? How'd you put together this team? Where'd you find them?
So just along the journey, along the way, just meeting everyone, talking to everyone, looking at a job site, going to talk to the people over there, you know, just getting cards everywhere. Like I have a stack of cards, man, even to this day, you know. And like I told someone the last meeting that I went to, like where there was a bunch of real estate people and realtors, I made it a goal to at least meet 15 people and get 15 people's contacts, you know. Right. But before, I used to go and meet every single person. I made sure I touched base with every single person in the room. I made sure by the time that I left, everyone knew who I was, humbly, and everyone knew, you know, and I knew who they were and what they did, and I would keep their card, you know. I'd have them add me on Instagram right there, right then and there.
Yeah, I mean, oh, that's good. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look me up. Yeah, this is I'll follow you back. You know, boom, just like that. And that way you can remember that, you know. Yeah. And you gain more followers too. Right. Yeah. So.
Do you have any social media goals for the next year?
Yeah, just reinventing ourselves. So we kind of been working on that right now. Like, I feel like the things that what got us here will not get us there. Right. So it's just reinventing ourselves again. And just kind of focusing on higher quality content, but also just back to the basics. I mean, we do so much. You know, this year we built like close to like 6 new construction, like what was it, like 5 new constructions, 3 renovations. I'm taking the roof off of one single family, making it into a 2-family.
Wow.
Building up.
Wow.
Yeah, making the top floor.
How is it dealing with the towns? I know you have a real good relationship with Providence.
I do. Yeah, and it's just because of doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, just doing the right thing. We like to follow the rules. Right. It comes down to that, you know what I mean? Just following the rules, building up friendships, you know, please and thank you. I always say that. Hey, can you guys please help me out with this? I really need this permit, you know, like, can you guys help me expedite this? You know, do you guys need any more info? You know, nowadays, though, you know, we have a checklist and we make sure that everything is on the blueprint, everything is on the site plan. So before we even submit it, everything is on there, you know. Yeah, right. So we don't, because I'll tell you, man, they'll make you run around for sure. Yeah. But, you know, just I have a really good relationship with them, doing the right thing, saying please and thank you goes a long way, being friendly with them, getting to know them. You know, hey, how's the family? You know, you find out they have a son, a daughter. Hey, how you doing? You know, how are they? You know, stuff like that. So, and then they're like, hey, you know, I don't like this over here and that. And you're like, no worries. You know, we actually have like a guy when we do walkthroughs. Like, we actually have a guy right there handy, so we just get it done right then and there.
That's,
you know,
so they don't have to come back.
Yeah, sometimes we don't have to. If it's not too big, you know what I mean. If it's like simple fixes, we can just get them done on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so. And then sometimes they'll have to come back, you know. But, you know, just developing friendships and networks and stuff like that and doing the right thing.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, Christian. Thanks for hopping on.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching episode 17. Hope everyone has a happy holiday and stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
That was good. Hopefully we didn't.